Throughout the events of the first Evil Within game, Juli Kidman is something of an enigma. What we know about her at the start of the game is far from the full picture that we come to get of her throughout the events of the game and the ensuing DLCs. Kidman is introduced to us in the beginning as Sebastian's junior detective, a rookie who's to follow the orders of Sebastian and learn from him. However, if you keep a close look at her, you'll learn very quickly that there's more to this woman than meets the eye.
Is there any... God damn it! Jesus!
However, Kidman's tale begins way before the events at Beacon, in the small village outside of Cedar Hill Church, a location that we visit in the game. According to Juli, her childhood was riddled with neglect, her parents considering her to be more of a burden than a daughter, with her parents being more interested in the teachings of the church than in raising Juli or any of her siblings. Juli's mother would often sit in her rocking chair to pass the time between services, leaving Juli in solitude. Eventually, fed up with life in the village, Juli ran away from home at the young age of 14, leaving behind only a note that said that she had gone to heaven. And unsurprisingly, her family never cared enough about her absence to go and look for her.
They abused you?
No. It was more like neglect. That's why when I just left, they didn't care. They never came looking, they just gave up.
And you never went back to them?
I did. A couple of years later, they were gone. Everyone was gone. It was like the whole town got up and moved. I should have felt something, but I didn't.
After leaving the village, Juli became somewhat of a delinquent, in and out of trouble with the law, and once she became a young adult, it's this trouble with the law that led her into the arms of Mobius. She was arrested and sent to jail, but Mobius offered her an option: join with them or continue to rot away in prison. Juli obviously accepted the offer and joined the organization. Not much is known about Juli's time with the organization. We know that Mobius expunged most of her criminal record, as well as subjected her to indoctrination therapy as part of her training regimen, but her duties as an agent aren't really made clear to us until she's sent by Mobius to the KCPD, where she meets Sebastian Castellanos and Joseph Oda.
Juli Kidman? She barely has any experience, and we don't even know anything about her. Send her out canvassing witnesses then. Let her see the streets.
No, she's coming with us. I'm going to train her. She's my responsibility.
Look, I know you say it's personal, and I don't like to talk about it, but we can't have your misplaced guilt leading to rookies slowing us down.
Sebastian. He and Joseph weren't supposed to be involved. It shouldn't have happened like this.
While on this assignment at the KCPD, Kidman is informed by Mobius of a project of theirs known as STEM, a project that they've been developing but are having some issues with the people surrounding it, specifically a man named Marcelo Jimenez, whose relationship with Mobius has become strained, was planning on flipping a switch that would pull people into a new version of the STEM system. But more importantly, once activated, it would pull in a boy whom they needed for further research into the system, a boy named Leslie Withers.
As I was saying, your target is Leslie Withers. He's a patient at Beacon Mental Hospital. But he's something more. Simply put, we need him to run our STEM system. Without this asset, our research will mean nothing.
I don't understand. We own Beacon. Why not just take him?
Our relationship with his advisor, Marcelo Jimenez, has become rather strained. The boy is a leverage piece. Jimenez plans to activate a STEM prototype at Beacon without our permission. Obviously, that's unsuitable.
Kidman was tasked with retrieving Leslie from inside of the new STEM system and bringing him to Mobius, getting an infusion that would help protect her from Ruvik while inside. Like Sebastian, Joseph, and Oscar, Juli gets sucked into the STEM system at the beginning of the game. Unlike the other three, however, thanks to her infusion, she never has any issues with becoming a haunted herself. Instead, Kidman's time within the system is spent searching to find Leslie, dealing with Ruvik's minions, learning about how Mobius has been manipulating her, and dealing with a STEM representation of the administrator himself.
What are you doing, kid? You are to bring the boy back to us.
No! I can't! If I bring Leslie out, Ruvik comes with him. We don't know what he's capable of. I can't let that happen.
in a position to make decisions like this. This is not acceptable behavior. You will bring us back that boy.
However, there are a few questions about the true intentions of the real administrator and his decision to send Kidman into the system. Questions that are brought up during her mission, which we never get a real explanation for. Kidman is sent in under the impression that she's to retrieve Leslie, and while she does pursue that task, she is repeatedly hindered by STEM's representation of the administrator. It's also stated by this administrator that she was sent into the system because she is expendable and Mobius needed to know if they could survive within the system. However, Kidman also thinks that this is just Ruvik playing games with her.
Such a simple mission, but still, you act out. Thankfully for us, there's always a backup plan. Not everything we give you is for your benefit.
The infusion.
What did you put in me?
We needed to know if one of us could survive in the system. But we're not about to risk anyone of value. You were sent to carry us in with you. So here I am.
No. It's Ruvik. He's making all of this.
And while we never truly learn the facts around the reason that Mobius sent her into the system, we know that once she defeats the faux administrator and escapes the system, the real administrator requests her for a debriefing about the events. It's also here that we see that Kidman frees Sebastian from his bonds to STEM, telling her fellow Mobius agents that he's gone just like Conley and Jimenez. Beyond that, however, we don't see the full ramifications of Kidman's Beacon encounter play out until the second game in the series. However, one thing is for sure. The Kidman that went into the system is far from the Kidman that came out.
I am with you. I will always be with you now.
You don't know me. I'm stronger than you think.